Hi, hello, and welcome in our video. In this video, we will talk about reusability. We will talk about how can you copy artifact and what are the different way how you can copy artifact. We have everything prepared, so let's get started. First, let's talk about copying artifact. The process of copying artifact is very easy. Just select the artifact you would like to copy and hit Ctrl C. Then, in a real world, you would probably use different module, but right now I will use the same module so I can show you the difference between copying and reusing artifact. So, I will paste artifact below this one, so I will select it and hit Ctrl V, so like in a real world. And you see, I have new artifact here. And you also see right away that the content is the same and the priority is the same, but the ID is not the same. That means those are two different artifacts. And that means that if I will change priority and if I will change content, I will jump out and I will also refresh so you really see that those changes were not propagated. So those really are now separate artifacts. And then, by the way, just for your information, you also can copy artifact by clicking on the artifact and clicking on this icon. And now you would choose copy artifact, and then you can select again the same artifact, click on this icon and use paste artifact. And you also can choose if you would like to paste after, before, or below as a child. I don't want to paste another artifact right now. This is just for your information that you can copy using this icon and not just Ctrl C and Ctrl V. All right, so that was simple enough and probably no one was surprised in any way how this copy paste works. But right now, let's select this artifact and again hit Ctrl C or use click here and copy artifact, the same. But right now, click here and don't use paste artifact, but please use paste special. By clicking on paste special, you see you have many different options. First option is just where you would like to paste your artifact. Simple enough. After this artifact, before or below as a child, yeah, I would like to paste it after this artifact. All right. The second is that you can select if you would like to also include links or not. Yeah, the links is pre-selected. Why not? Let's keep it. Then, this will be very important in the next exercise, the option if you like to paste an original artifact with a link or not. This will be very important. We will cover it later. But what I would like to do right now is I would like to reuse or duplicate all artifacts. So what is the difference? When you are duplicating, you are doing exactly the same what we did in previous exercise. That means you are creating new artifact with the same content and same attributes, but it would be new artifact with new ID and subsequent changes, so changes after this artifact is created, will not be propagated. So this is duplication. When you will select reuse all artifacts, that means that you are creating another instance of the same artifact. So artifact with the same content, same artifact attributes, and also same ID. That means that changes in any of those artifacts instances will be propagated between those artifacts. And the last option is that you can duplicate all headings and reuse all artifacts. So headings will be duplicated. That means the same content but new ID, and all other artifacts will be reused. Or reuse all headings and duplicate all other artifacts. Or duplicate all artifacts in the selected view and reuse all other artifacts. So just different options. Probably you will be choosing between those two. So just simple duplicate all or reuse all. Right now, I will select reuse all. Okay, and you see the content is the same, the priority attribute is the same, but also ID is the same. So if right now I will make a change in the original and I will change priority, and now I will refresh, you see that change was propagated and also the priority change was propagated. If I will select the second instance and I will make a change and again change a priority and I will refresh, you see again this change was propagated. So this is in fact the same artifact, but those are two instances of the same artifact. You see, because you have same ID, you know this is the same artifact and all changes are propagated. Well, I said all, but that's not true. There are some changes that are not propagated, and those are three changes. Change in comments, change in links, and change in tags. Let's see comment and links because that's super easy. I will select this artifact and I will open this right panel and I will click on create comment, OK. I will refresh. Excellent. So you see this comment is here, but I will select the second instance and there is no comment. And also, if I will use, for example, satisfies. Excellent. I can create satisfies link here. I created just a random link. It really doesn't matter. But if I will refresh, you see this link was not propagated. But change in anything else, so in contents, in a name, in any attribute, will be propagated. Why? It's because when you are reusing artifact, you are reusing base version of that artifact. And when you are creating comments and when you are creating links, those links are not propagated from module artifact, so artifact used in module, to the base artifact. That means base version of this artifact. That's why when you create links here and comments here, those comments are not propagated to the base artifact, where it can be again propagated from this base artifact to another module artifact. But if I would go and select this artifact and I see base version of this artifact, open base artifact in a new window, why not? All right, you see this base artifact don't have any comments and any link, but from base artifact, the changes are propagated to the module artifact, so even comments and links. So I can create comment in base artifact and a link again satisfies really anything. All right, again, very important. I am making change in a base artifact. Now, if I will jump back and refresh, you see both artifacts now have link and both artifacts now have comment. And you see this blue arrow here, it means that it is coming from the base artifact. So whenever you see this little small blue arrow, it means that this link or this comment is coming from the base artifact. I know it is a little complicating the difference between module and base artifact, and I know it may not be clear for you right now, but I think it needs to be said again and again and again, so you can understand why something is propagated with no problem and why something is not propagated. All right, I am so sorry that I ended in this rabbit hole, but I really think it's important. But now let's continue. Let's use this artifact and again use Ctrl C or just click here and use copy, and I will be mentioning it again and again and again. And let's copy it here, but please choose paste special. I will leave everything as default, but I will duplicate all artifacts. Remember, duplicated means that we are creating the same content, the same priority, the same links that we are also copying, but with a different ID, so it is different artifact. But right now, please select create a link from the copied artifact to the original artifact and select some link type. Regarding link type, maybe it would be beneficial to create some custom specific link type so you can see this relationship right away. You will know right away that this is a relationship between two copied artifacts. Right now, we will use link to, but it really is not a bad idea to create custom link type for this. All right, so link to, I will click OK, and you see we have the same content, same priority, same link, but different ID. Again, just so you will believe me, I will delete this artifact because it's very big and we don't see both of artifacts at one page. You see, same content, same link, same priority, different ID. Excellent. So why you are telling me that I should create link? I will show you the link to and link from. We will need both. All right, you see, link from, link to. The scenario may be like this. When you copied this artifact to some another module, everything made sense. The artifact was perfect, nicely written, very clear. But then, after extensive testing and extensive communication with stakeholders, etc., in original module, in original document, something was changed. For example, they found out that 72 square mile area is extremely large number, and we can cover just 30 square mile area because there are some major roadblocks and technological challenges, etc. So it's not feasible to use 72 square mile area. So we changed it in original document, but we had no idea that someone copied this artifact and somewhere in some other document, in some other module, someone is still working with the requirement that is telling about 72 square mile area. But when you created a link and you will not use just link, but also you will use link validity that you can set up by clicking here on the settings, manage component properties, choose link validity and click here to show link validity, save. I will jump back to the module. Excellent. And now I will set this link validity as valid. Just a second, I will refresh it. Excellent. I will focus just on this one link. You see, now it's valid. And after month, two, or after a year, if someone will change this requirement to now 20 square mile area, you see this link is automatically made suspect. You may go here and see, okay, it really doesn't impact my module because we are talking about, I don't know, 79,000 connections and not about square mile area. So I may change it, but yeah, no big deal. But there may be situation that you see, okay, I use it in exactly the same context. I don't know why you copied it and now reused it, but I am using it in a very similar context and I really need to change it to make sense. So I will change it and make link validity again to valid. Even if you will not be changing it, you can set link validity as valid, but having a link give you opportunity to see if some changes were made and give you opportunity to check those changes and to evaluate if they are impacting your copied requirement or not. I am sorry and please excuse me, but I am still thinking about how any problem with requirements may result in some debt or in some major penalty. I know it's horrible, but I am still thinking about how can you minimize risk. And using links with link validity, it's so easy. It's just a couple of clicks and it's so unintrusive that it would be a shame not to use it. It's still better to make a conscious decision and ignore change link validity than not having this information at all. All right, so this concludes the option of duplicating artifact with a link. Great. So we covered all options we have when we are copying and pasting artifacts. Now, when we are talking about reusability of artifacts, you have two additional options. One is embedding artifact. I think this is a reusability technique, and we will have a separate video for embedding artifacts. And the second one is very easy, and if you were working with artifact, you already probably done it, and it's by clicking on create and adding existing artifact. And in fact, it's the same as using reuse. So This artifact you can reuse by copy, paste special, and reuse, or by clicking on Create, add existing artifact, and search for 51A22. Excellent, I can add and close, and you see it's right here, and it's the same. This artifact is reused, therefore you have now three instances of the same artifact. So whether you use copy, paste special, and reuse all, or you use create, add existing artifact, and search for specific artifact with its ID, the result is the same. You are creating another instance of this artifact. And you also can navigate to the artifacts, then click on all, and here in my training project folder, I have this artifact that I am reusing over and over again. And you also can copy artifact from here. So you don't need to be in a module. You can also copy base requirements. The same, just Control C or click here, copy artifact, and then you can navigate to module, systems requirement specification, and here you have the same option, just paste artifact, for example, after, or paste special. It's the same. It doesn't matter if you are copying artifact from module or you are copying artifact from the folder, so paste artifact. It's exactly the same. There is just one more thing I would like to mention in this video. When I click on this artifact in the rollout right panel, in section where artifact is used, we have three records. So there are three instances of this artifact used somewhere. In a real world, you wouldn't see the same module, so the same systems requirement specification, but you would see probably system requirement specification, some other subsystem specification, and maybe stakeholder requirement specification. So different modules. That's excellent information because you really need to know that some artifact is used also in another context, in another places. But rolling out the window and seeing in a very used section, it's not very intuitive. And also you probably don't go to every artifact and see, all right, and what about this artifact? Is this artifact used somewhere? And you see there is just one instance that means that not. Although this is great example, this artifact was copied, but you copied artifact, you have new ID. Therefore, with this ID, you have just one artifact, so one instance. Because you have two different IDs, you have two different artifacts. That means they are not listed here. All right, so how you can make it more intuitive? How can you see it without this right panel? And it is very simple by adding column. I will click on more and I will search for used. You have used in modules here, and I will bring it up next to the contents. Excellent. And you have this recycle icon, and with this recycle icon, you see that this artifact is also used in another context. If I would use, for example, this one, I will copy it and I will go to any other module, for example, this one, I will paste it, special, I would like to reuse it. Okay, excellent. You see it's right here. You already see it is reused. I would like to go back to the original module, refresh it. Perfect. And we have this icon here and also this information that this artifact has two instances and they are in those modules. I would like to mention that you have two gray variants, light gray and dark gray. When you have light gray, that means that this artifact is reused in one place, so you have just two instances. If you have recycle icon that is dark gray, it means that that artifact is reused in more than two instances, so three, four, five. You can see it very easily here. This artifact has two instances, this artifact has three instances. The color will not change if this artifact will have four, five, six instances. It will be still dark gray. It won't be darker or blacker. And with this information, I would like to conclude this reusability artifact topic. So, just to sum up, you have different options how you can copy and paste artifact. It doesn't matter if you would like to copy and paste artifact within a module, or you would like to copy artifact from a folder and then paste it into the module. The options are the same. The first option is just to paste it. That means you are creating new artifact with the same content, the same links, the same attributes, but with a different ID, and no changes are propagated between those artifacts. The second option is to reuse those artifacts. That means you are creating another instance of the same artifact. That means that changes of attributes and changes in the content is propagated. What is not propagated is changes in links, comments, and tags. So this is reusability option number 2. Reusability option number 3 is again copy paste. So you are duplicating but with a link, so with an information what are connected artifacts, that some artifact is copied from another one. Using links with link validity is excellent way how you can make sure if those changes impact you or not. Just have information that original artifact or new artifact were in some way changed. Option number 4 is just hitting create and adding existing artifact. With this option, again, you are adding base artifact. That means you are creating another instance of the same artifact, and it's the same option as if you use reuse all. That means that you created the second instance of the same artifact. You have the same ID, same content, same artifact attributes, and all changes are again propagated again without links, comments, and tags. So this is option number 4. Option number 5, what we will do in a next video, will be about embedding artifact. So you can use one artifact and put it inside another artifact. So you can put one text inside another textual artifact or image inside another artifact. So this is option number 5. All right, so this was reusability. I really hope this video was informative for you, and I hope to see you in our next videos.